Hello one and all, and welcome back for another episode of the Borussia Dortmund FM19 Beta save with me, Throughball FM. Today we've got a home game against Augsburg to contend with, but we're also unbeaten in the league. I'm going to get this in right at the start of the video this time and just ask that you please, if you are new to the channel, just subscribe to the channel, give it a like, leave a comment, share it on any of the social media platforms that you can, just to spread the word basically and to get more people watching. I would really appreciate that, and I would be most humbled if you could do it. So if you could do that for me, that would be amazing. Right then, so as mentioned in the intro, we are actually still unbeaten in the league, but there are some drawbacks to that in that we've also drawn 4 of our 6 games, so, you know. So after the Barcelona defeat, which was, we deserved to lose the game, in all honesty. I mean, if you watched episode 3, you will know that that was the case. We were heavily outplayed. Barcelona deserved more goals than just the one from Luis Suarez's 83rd minute. We weren't very good in that game, but we were much better in the 3-1 win against Hoffenheim in the league. It was an away win, and I'm pretty proud of this. Win, to be honest. Hoffenheim are a decent side, and they only actually got a goal back in the 95th minute through Andrej Kramaric, the former Leicester striker. But we actually, it was a very one-sided game in our favour, really. If you take a look at the match stats there, you can see that we had much more shots on target. We dominated the ball as we so often do. I mean, those stats don't really tell the full story. Again, they only started pushing towards the end of the game, and that's when they sort of had most of their shots. So 3-1's a really good result. Traore, Royce and Thomas Delaney with the goals, who seems to have been a bit of a revelation in that box-to-box midfield role, to be honest. So we followed that nice positive result against Hoffenheim up with a 3-1 win over newly promoted FC Nuremberg. It was Marco Royce with 2 goals with a nice brace there, penalty on the 41st minute. And Mario Götze with the goals. Patrick Eras with a 74th minute reply, but again we were much the better side. Then we played a game against one of our potential top 4 rivals, and that is Bayer Leverkusen. We were heavily outplayed in this game. If I just show you the stats, you'll be able to see that we were heavily outplayed and potentially didn't even deserve to get anything from the match, really. But Kai Havertz put them ahead on the 49th minute before Maximilian Philipp equalised in the 87th minute, and I mean, I'm just having some real difficulties getting the strikers to score or even to engage much in the match, to be honest. We also didn't even dominate the ball in this game, which was a bit of a worry. Possibly even more worryingly, we got a 0-0 draw against Ludogorets in our Champions League game, our second Champions League game of the season. And I mean, if we've got any aspirations of sort of winning the competition, or not even winning the competition, but getting into the last 16, which is the aim set by the board this season, then we're going to have to step up our game, in all honesty, because Champions Cup Group B, you'll see the results in a second when it finally loads. Right, so it has finally loaded, and the game seems to be running very slowly today for some reason, I don't know why. But quite worryingly, actually, Galatasaray beat Barcelona 1-0 in their game. If you just take a look at the results there, see, Galatasaray beat Barcelona 1-0. Now, that's not a great result for us, because that puts Galatasaray now 5 points ahead of us. The only sort of saving grace is that we play them twice in a row, and hopefully we can pick up 6 points against them. They probably only need a draw against us, and they'd be good to go, really. And that is because they also beat Ludogorets, obviously, in their game, whereas we only drew them. So what this means is we'll probably have to get something against Barcelona for us to go through to the next round, which is pretty daunting, really. So as you can see, this is the league table, and this is how we're looking at the start of the season, 6 games in. See that we've won twice and drawn 4 games with a 4-goal difference. The worry is that we have conceded a lot of goals. I'm not too worried about that. It's just we seem to have conceded quite a lot of unfortunate goals. We've conceded off a free kick, for example, and things like that. It's not too much of a worry, in my opinion. We do need to start picking up some points, though, if we're going to finish in that top 4. The top 4 in all the top leagues this season and last season, I think, get you Champions League group stage football. So that's what we'll be looking to get. That's what the board expects, so hopefully we can cement that top 4 position. Right then, so to the game against Augsburg today, where you can see they're in poor form and we're in decent form. Augsburg are down in 13th position, so we should be really looking to win this game quite comfortably at home. So this is the team we're going to go with to play against Augsburg today. We're going with 3 attacking players, as we usually do, in Traore, Royce and Philipp. I've been playing around a little bit with some of the roles because I just didn't feel like it was working, and we're actually going to go with deep line playmaker there. So we're going to go with deep line playmaker for Witzel and box to box for Delaney. Actually, Julian Weigel's going to sit this one out because Delaney's been really good when he's came in and he's very well suited to that box to box role. And we've changed Mario Götze from an advanced playmaker or shadow striker, as we're playing around with now, just an attacking midfielder. So we'll see how that gets on. If you have got any advice about player roles, then do let me know. I'm just experimenting at this point. I really don't want to play with two playmakers because I know from experience that doesn't work. So I'm trying to avoid that at all costs, really. Let's get into this game and submit the team. Okay, so Augsburg go with a 4-2-3-1, similar to ours, but they've gone more defensive midfielders as opposed to central midfielders. That's something that we should look to do, is maybe drop one of these guys back. But I think at the minute we just need to try and sort of solidify our formation and get the players used to it. Kayubi on the left, Kujac, Chiol and Jürgen Schmidt, is that? Yeah, Jonathan Schmidt, and Michael Gregoric up front. Like I say, Augsburg are down in 13th. We can probably, hopefully, look to beat Augsburg here. They really should be. We really should be looking to beat Augsburg, I guess, is what I'm trying to bloody say. Right then, to say we're favourites for a reason. Go out and make sure that no doubt as to why. I'm expecting to see solid defensive work. Faith. Marco Reus is excited about this. That's good. How much of a boost is Andre Hahn's absence for your chance of winning? He's a very good winger, so I'm glad that he's out. But it's unfair if singles out. Individuals, and here we go as the two managers kind of air shake. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, I like it anyway. But yeah, we get underway for this game, and I just want to say that I am enjoying this so much. I'm obviously having to come back for games, and there's points where I can't record and things, so I'm getting a bit sort of itching to play the game as such. As Akanji heads that away for the first highlight of the game. Kujac, Schmidt, Marcus Rojo. VR's going to have a look at it, but that looked a foul to me. That did look a foul to me. And Marcus Rojo is well known for being very rash. So Frank Willenborg is having a look at the video. What's he going to say? He said in the commentary it looked harsh, but what's he going to do? What's the referee going to do? Yeah, it's a penalty. I think it looked a penalty, to be fair to Augsburg. And it is going to be Michael Gregoric to take the penalty. Steps up, and it's in, and we're 1-0 down already. They've had most of the ball after 3 minutes, and we're just not. This isn't going very well, boys. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that when somebody dives in like that. Kujac got in behind Marcus Rojo there, and he just dived in, and we're having to play him because Abdou Diallo is injured, and Toprak wasn't on the greatest of fitness, so Rojo not good at all. We're going to demand more because we're just not doing anything in this game. We haven't even had a shot on target yet, as Dubois throws it in to Gouveleuve. Schmidt, Gregoric, and look at the space there. Look at the space in behind. There's still loads of great tackle from Toljan, but there's loads of space in behind if they want to try and exploit it. But we've won it back. Here's Bertrand Traore coming down this side and cuts it back. Marco Reus, he's missed. So we do make a really good chance, and we miss it. Which hasn't actually been like us really. We've been quite good in front of goal. Specifically, Marco Reus and Traore have been really good in front of goal. Here goes Marco Reus again. He's just run through the lot of them. Reus! It's it wide. We do seem to have picked things up a little bit in these last sort of 10 minutes. As Delaney heads on, Goethe, Delaney again, Witzel. Now for Akanji. Finds Traore. Traore cuts inside, gives it to Delaney. Marco Reus cuts inside. Reus again, and these are all coming through Marco Reus, but he's not hitting the target as often as he should be. We've actually had a shot on target now, as we've got another highlight. As Augsburg come forward with it, and there's loads of space being left in behind here as we do try to close down. Here's Max, and he's been just absolutely drifted past our defender. Coup, that would have been really, really lucky. Again, it's been not a very good half from us. We've had a load of the ball, we've had a few chances, and we just haven't put them away, essentially. But yeah, Augsburg get that one penalty. They're going to sit back for the rest of the game, aren't they? And it's just really, really frustrating. They're going to get aggressive and say, show me something else in the second half. They all look fired up. Let's see what they can do. So we're underway for the second half, and it goes, the highlight fades away straight away. But yeah, it's not looking good for us actually so far. Hanover are winning 3-0 against Stuttgart. Thomas Delaney's looking a bit tired. Got a corner in the 49th minute. Reus takes. Rojo! He's hit the bar. A free kick's given, but he's hit the bar. Marcus Rojo had the chance there to redeem himself for that penalty giveaway. But 60 minutes gone, still nothing happening. Burki does now kick it up the pitch. I was just about to make some substitutions there. Reus, Philipp, Maximilian Philipp, saved by Fabian Giefer. So I'm going to make a substitution. Bertrand Traore is looking absolutely knackered, so we're going to get him off. And Thomas Delaney's looking fairly tired as well. We're getting Julian Weigel on as a central midfielder. And that's all we'll do for now. Toljan throws it in for Rafa Guerreiro. Weigl, Guerrero. Back post, Jadon Sancho's there, and Jadon Sancho gets his third goal of the season. We've come back from behind once again, which we shouldn't be having to do so much. But this is why we've drawn so many games, because we've had to come from behind. We've taken, it's taken us an age to get back into this game. We've only got now 25 minutes to get back into the game, which is enough time. But it was a really good pass from Rafa Guerrero to the back post for Jadon Sancho to tap home. So 1-1, and hopefully we'll be able to get something now from this game in terms of a win. So I'm just going to ask the boys to push forward and try and look for a win in these last minutes here. And we have started on attack, and Royce, back post, Rojo again, off the line. Royce, Philip, Rojo's got it back again. Akanji, and the highlight does fade away again. We have got another highlight in the 83rd minute. We're really turning it on in these last sort of 10 minutes of the game as Jeremy Toljan comes forward with it. Weigl through Philip. Royce makes it 2-1. Come on, boys. We've absolutely dominated this game, and we deserve to be winning it, and we are now winning it. It was that sort of moment of madness from Marcos Rojo that put us in this position. I shouldn't expect anything less from a Manchester United player, should I? But Weigl gave it to Maximilian Philipp with a nice little pass to Marco Reus, who slammed home for his fourth goal of the season. So 2-1 entering the closing minutes of the game. We're going to make a time-wasting sub, which is going to be Witsel for Kagawa, and leave him on deep line playmaker, because that's probably one of the roles he's more suited to. Yeah, I mean, we have deserved this, and we've got a free kick right at the end of the game as Khedira heads away. That's Rani Khedira, Sami Khedira's brother, Jeremy Toljan, Rojo to Royce, and we're just going to play out time here, it looks like. Well, Finn Bogersson's kind of run away from Rojo there, and he does play it through, but Kagawa's there to mop up, and he's got the legs to get back with him just being fresh. And Khedira now. The referees just need to blow the whistle when the time's gone, to be honest with you, because this is ridiculous. 30 seconds over the time there. But yeah, all in all, we absolutely dominated the game, and Augsburg didn't really deserve to score, in all honesty. It was just, again, that moment of madness from Marcos Dirty Rojo that put us in a position of jeopardy. Despite the fact that we won, I'm going to say it was a bit of a let-off. We need to step things up, we really do. And Sancho looks confused and demotivated, but Jadon Sancho has been very good and got us quite a few goals. Traore wasn't on his game today, but hopefully he can pick things up in the coming games. So you see there the little news article that Marco Reus drove us forward with 5 key passes. I'm going to praise him and say that his passing, he created a lot of chances, if that's something that I can say, if I can praise him and praise the last game, and just say superb with the number of quality chances in the last game, and he likes it. But I mean, Marco Reus is the player really who we need to look to sort of do really well for us. He got 7 in 11 games in an injury hit season last season for Dortmund. He's got 4 in 7 for us at the start of this season. He started the season very, very well. 13.75 million from Borussia Mönchengladbach is an absolute steal at this point. So this is how the Bundesliga looks after 7 games, and after that win against Augsburg for us. It pushes up into 5th position. You can see it's very, very tight between these sort of lower teams here. You can see Red Bull Leipzig. Or RB Leipzig, sorry, I keep calling them Red Bull Leipzig, and I know some people are going to get annoyed, but that's how I know them, because they've got a Red Bull badge and what have you. But anyway, they've scored 23 goals this season already in 7 games. That is crazy. That's an average of 7, let's do some math, 7, 14, 21. It's about 3 goals a game, just over 3 goals a game, which is absolutely nuts. You can see for us, 8 goals against just isn't good enough, and that didn't help our cause. We haven't had a clean sheet, I don't think, in the league this season, which is pretty worrying. I mean, if you take a look at the Bundesliga games that we have played, you see we've conceded goals in all of them. So that, I mean, that's something we're going to have to look to. We're going to have to look to remedy, essentially. Right then, so this is a toughie. Obviously, we're at the end of this episode, and I do want to try and keep it to 1 game, because I think the videos end up being too long if I do 2 games. I think they end up being, in excess of 20 minutes, which is it's just too long, really. I want to try and keep them under 20 minutes if I can. Maybe a sort of between 15 and 18 is kind of a nice level, or even less than that, just to give people snippets of the game, and I think it just keeps it more concise. But what's difficult here is that I don't want to skip too far ahead into the future, because we've got games coming up against, a massive game there against Galatasaray in the Champions League, which we're going to have to win, essentially. And then we've got a double header against Hertha Berlin, which is going to be 2 big games in the shape of our season. If we want the German Cup, if we want to do well in the Pokal this season, then that game's vital as well. Then we've got a really tough away game against Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga, who are sitting 6th, so they're going to be a real test. And then it's the return leg of the 2 legs, the 2 games against Galatasaray, if you like, which is the home game in that Champions League Group B game, which again is going to be absolutely huge and vital in terms of our season. We need to win these 2 games essentially to have any chance of doing anything this season in the Champions League. And then comes the Bayern game. So I think what we will do is, I think the most... I really don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to come back for. I actually think the more sensible thing to do, and although I'm going to go against what I've just said about having 1 game per video, I think what the more sensible thing to do is to come back for this Galatasaray and Bayern double header. I think those 2 games are going to be massive, particularly that one in terms of our Champions League prospects, but also the Bayern game in terms of our league prospects really, and to kind of test where we are as a team, because although we haven't really played any of the big sides, maybe Leipzig was probably the biggest, or Bayer Leverkusen as well by any stretch of the imagination, we haven't actually had a real sort of test in the league to give us an idea of where we are as a team. I suppose the Barcelona game did do that, to be fair, but they well and truly kind of put us in our place, so I'm a bit worried about that game as well. But rest assured, I will come back at some point. It's just where that'll be. It'll probably be the Galatasaray and Bayern games, and you know, I think those are really going to be really important games. And I know I'm skipping the most of October and a little bit of November, but hey ho, I think that's the way that it needs to be done. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video today, and please drop a like, comment, subscribe. As I mentioned before, I would be most humbled if you could do that. Thanks again everyone now. Bye bye.